A compromise in the Senate sets the stage for an end to the government shutdown. But leading Democrats don't like the deal some of their own party members broke rank to approve.
I think it falls very short of what the American people need and deserve.
What it means for millions of Californians' health care, plus unintended consequences from a landmark housing law.
Whoops. Somebody goofed.
We'll hear from a mobile home resident in Sunnyvale leading the push to keep hundreds of her neighbors safe from sudden redevelopment and screening kids earlier for signs of potential reading difficulties. We'll meet a Marin County teacher training other educators how to use the new tools.
We can do a side-by-side comparison of results to really get a great overall data picture.
And later,
she was a mentor.
She was at the front of everything.
How San Francisco came together to celebrate Bay Area news icon and KPIX legend Belva Davis.
There was nothing about her that wasn't authentic.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. After nearly a month and a half, the end of the government shutdown is in sight. Tonight, the Senate is preparing for a final vote on a deal that would reopen the government. But the compromise is driving a wedge between Democrats. So what's in the deal? The bill funds the government through January 30th, reverses shutdown-related layoffs, and guarantees back pay to all federal workers. It also includes 3 longer appropriations bills with funding for SNAP benefits. But many Democrats are outraged that deal does not include any extensions on health care subsidies. Brad Hamilton joins us live from San Francisco with how local officials are reacting. Brad.
Yeah, Juliette, as the Senate grows closer to reaching that deal that could help end the government shutdown, the reaction here is pouring in from all over, including some of the most influential Democrat voices here in California.
And thank you for...
As former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi joined Covered California to kick off open enrollment in San Francisco, hanging over the event was the frustration among many Democrats. It's all over a deal in the Senate that would reopen the government without the concessions on health care tax credits that were central to their demands.
I think it falls very short of what the American people need and deserve, and therefore I will be firmly voting no on it.
Pelosi was the chief architect of the Affordable Care Act and has continued to defend and advocate for its benefits.
We passed it with public sentiment and we saved it with public sentiment, and we have to do that again.
The Affordable Care Act tax credits help millions of Americans, including families right here in California, afford their coverage. Covered California, the state's insurance marketplace, connects nearly 6 million people to affordable plans. But the deal that advanced with the help from 8 Senate Democrats would reopen the government, but push a vote on extending the key federal health care tax credit to next month. Pelosi warned that if Congress doesn't change course, premiums will soar and people could start losing access to care, though she wouldn't place blame on the 8 Senate Democrats who voted for the compromise.
I think those senators were concerned about, as we all are, these people not getting paid, even when government opens up again.
But others in the party are openly expressing frustration with their colleagues, including Congressman Josh Harder, who says the buck stops with Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
So I think folks are right to be pretty angry at him, regardless of what his vote is. We need solutions. And the entire reason that we've been in this painful shutdown for weeks on end is because we need an agreement on healthcare costs.
However, Republicans say this deal is an important step to both reopen the government and get talks moving again. Jeff Burns is the chairperson for Contra Costa County Republicans.
And SNAP benefits and everything is just terrible. And it's a terrible way to negotiate.
Burns did join Pelosi and Harder in their concern for the future of the ACA. But for many who rely on Covered California, the impact is already real. Monthly premiums for subsidized health care plans offered by Covered California are set to rise by 97% on average next year. Tessa Spargo uses Covered California and explains how it's impacted her life.
I would not be able to afford health insurance if I didn't have Covered California. So I consider it really crucial.
Now, under this current Senate agreement, there would be no guaranteed outcome for a potential vote on the tax credit extension, and Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has not made any commitment to bringing it up in the House. Juliet?
Brad Hamilton. Brad, thanks so much. So despite the move to end the shutdown, the flight delays are not slowing down. Thousands of flights were canceled nationwide today. And right here in the Bay Area, the website FlightAware says 41 flights were canceled at SFO. That is more than Oakland and San Jose combined. We heard from Matthew at SFO, who says he's ready for the unexpected.
So what I've done is double booked 2 flights coming back. So if they cancel one, I still have another. And I just bought fully refundable tickets. So if I get locked out of my first flight, I'll just take the second one.
Hundreds of flights are already canceled tomorrow when the FAA's ordered reductions are expected to jump from 4 to 6%. Meantime, the Supreme Court is expected to rule tomorrow on the Trump administration's request to halt full federal funding for SNAP benefits while the government is shut down. Lower courts have ruled the administration must pay full benefits for the 42 million Americans that rely on the food benefits. And we invite you to help your neighbors in need through our annual Food for Bay Area Families program. For more information on how you can donate to local food banks or become a volunteer, just scan the QR code on your screen. You can also head to kpix.com/give. Happening tonight, UC Berkeley is hosting a gathering by Turning Point USA, the conservative group formed by the late Charlie Kirk. So there is a big crowd of people outside of the event, including some protesters. You can see there's also law enforcement there. And within the past hour, things have escalated outside of the event. We did see a fight break out between 2 men. Police quickly detained the 2. One officer pushed people away from the scene using a bike. We saw officers take a man who was zip-tied into a patrol cruiser as well. Also, just a few minutes ago, we saw smoke coming out of the middle of the crowd. It is unclear what was thrown or ignited. One student we spoke to says safety is a big concern for tonight's event.
We're on a university campus, right? So everyone has a very diverse set of opinions. I believe that Berkeley Police Department and the security force are here to protect everybody and everybody's speech.
Coming up at 7, our Amanda Harry will have a live report on the event. Tonight, we are learning a British journalist arrested at SFO last month by ICE has now been released. On October 26th, 35-year-old Sami Hamdi was taken into custody. ICE agents say he was in the U.S. illegally after his visitor visa was revoked. According to the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CARE, Hamdi attended their gala in Sacramento and then was heading to Florida for another event before he was arrested. An unintended consequence to SB 79, the bill designed to create more housing, could actually leave thousands of mobile home residents in Sunnyvale without a place to stay. So here's a look at 7 of the mobile home parks that could be affected. Sunnyvale is home to 3 of the 10 largest mobile home parks in the state, including Casa de Amigos, the largest park statewide, with 923 spaces. And now lawmakers are scrambling to fix the oversight. Our John Ramos spoke with one neighbor who's fighting to make sure she and her neighbors won't have to suddenly relocate.
Mobile homes are some of the most affordable housing options in the Bay Area, but ironically, some may be threatened by a new state law designed to make housing more affordable. For reasons no one seems to know, Sunnyvale has a lot of mobile home parks, including Casa de Amigos, said to be the largest in the entire state. Gail Rubino is a mobile home activist who has been fighting to keep rents affordable. And then she heard about the passage of Senate Bill 79, which would allow new large-scale developments within half a mile of a passenger rail station. You hear about it, you look into it, and what's your reaction?
My reaction, whoops, somebody goofed.
In Sunnyvale, there are 7 mobile home parks close to the VTA light rail line. Gail lives in the El Dorado Mobile Home Park, which is a stone's throw from the Fair Oaks station, meaning under SB 79, the landowners have a right to redevelop the property for a huge new housing complex if they want to.
There is a possibility that the mobile home owners would want to sell the land and have it redeveloped into, a 9-story building if it's within half a mile of transit. Those people are already there and they own their homes. and that's already an affordable place to live. So putting something there that replaces that's the same kind of housing is kind of goofy.
And regardless of the low cost of the mobile homes, Gail says the state only considers properties affordable if they receive some kind of public subsidy, regardless of how expensive it may have been to build them. So this is actual, real affordable housing, but it's not considered
correct, because we're not subsidized, correct.
It may sound funny, but with the power being granted to developers these days, the mobile home dwellers are scared by just the possibility of being displaced.
In Sunnyvale, it's potentially 2,100 homes. So that's probably, what, 4,000 to 5,000 people. Where are they going to live? It's really disastrous for that group of people.
No one intended this to happen, and lawmakers are now scrambling to amend SB 79 to exempt mobile home parks. Assemblymember Patrick Ahrens represents Sunnyvale and says more thought needs to be put into the rush to build more housing.
Common sense is not always very common in Sacramento, and we need to actually focus on new legislation that balances those tenant protections while also trying to build housing. That is the inconvenient truth of the affordability laws that we are constantly introducing in Sacramento, is they're butting up against something else. And we need to just get in the room and figure this out so that we don't have unintended consequences of displacement.
There are already promises from Sacramento that a fix will be made, but Gail isn't taking anything for granted.
I really think if we're sensible about this and we get a good coalition of people to be for the amendment, we'll get it.
Is there some doubt in your mind whether that could still happen?
Well, you know, I think I'm not going to fall asleep on this thing. It's like I'm going to watch it like a hen watches the baby chickens.
And that's especially important now that state law is allowing so many foxes into the hen house.
SB 79 only applies in counties with at least 15 passenger rail stations. In the Bay Area, that includes San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, and Alameda. Contra Costa is exempt because it only has 14 BART stations. San Francisco police still searching for a suspect after 5 people were shot near Ocean Beach this weekend. Happened in the area of Fulton Street and the Great Highway Saturday night. Police say 4 victims under the age of 18 have non-life-threatening injuries. 1 adult has life-threatening injuries. Police have not released much information about what led up to this, only calling it an isolated incident and an active investigation. Still ahead, here at 6, the Bay Area pays tribute to legendary journalist and former KPIX anchor, Belva Davis. Plus, we'll take you inside a North Bay classroom where students hope to get early help detecting and dealing with potential reading issues.
The sooner that we really make sure that we have kids on track and promote them to do even better, the more success we can have.
Politicians, journalists, and friends turned out today to celebrate the life of legendary television broadcaster Belva Davis. Her memorial service was held at Grace Cathedral in San Francisco. Belva's award-winning career spanned 45 years, and she became a trusted name in Northern California households. She got her start here at KPIX, where she stayed for over a decade. A CBS correspondent, Bill Whitaker, called her a mentor and shared a bit about her legacy.
From the humblest of beginnings, she became the voice of her place and time. She forged her way to the top of her profession when there was no one else doing it who looked like her. And in so doing, she held a guiding light for all who followed.
Belva was a trailblazer, but her journey came with hardships. However, according to her best friend, Rosemary, Belva persevered.
Whenever she met an obstacle, mountain, she said, her inner voice would say, "Lead me, Lord, around it."
Belva Davis died in September at the age of 92. She is survived by her husband of 62 years, Bill Moore, her 2 children, and 2 grandchildren. This fall, California is requiring all public schools to screen students in kindergarten through 2nd grade for reading difficulties, including signs of dyslexia. Educators say catching problems early could make a big difference in how well kids learn to read. Kenny Choi takes us inside a Marin County classroom where screenings are taking place.
For the first time, all California schools are testing kindergarten, first and second graders for early signs of reading difficulties, including dyslexia.
I want you to tell me the names of all the pictures as fast as you can.
Julie McEwen has been training teachers in San Rafael how to use the assessment tool.
With this data, as well as our benchmark assessments, we can do a side-by-side comparison of results to really get a great overall data picture about a student as they progress through their reading.
Early identification of reading struggles will help teachers determine classroom instruction and give students who need it extra support in evaluations.
I look in between my second vowel graphics for two constants. I find two, so I divide in between.
Megan Potente's son didn't learn to read until he was 10 years old after attending a school for dyslexic students. She's part of a grassroots group of parents of children with dyslexia and believes universal screenings are a giant step forward.
Like many kids, he was passed along with the response of, we'll have to wait and see.
The 4 state-approved computer-based screeners, including UCSF's Multitudes program, do not diagnose dyslexia or disabilities, nor do they replace full assessments. But they do flag risk, which has been missing for families like Megan's and why she's been demanding change for years.
He had to fall behind before getting the help that he needed. And that has a real impact on kids, not just academics, but also, and their feelings of self-worth, in their engagement in school, their confidence.
This allows us to give parents the information that they need at the time they need and the reassurance of here's what we're going to do about it in order to ensure your child's a successful reader.
It's a move teachers hope will improve reading progress as California grapples with reading scores below the national average.
The sooner that we really make sure that we have kids on track and promote them to do even better, the more success we can have.
The mandate signed into law in 2023 by Governor Newsom means 1.2 million kids will be screened for reading challenges earlier than ever before.
Aw, sweet young readers. California is now the 40th state to require these screenings. The screenings are funded by a $21 per student grant. UCSF's Multitudes screening test is available in English, Spanish, and soon in Mandarin. Meantime, it might not feel like the holidays yet, but San Francisco is also getting into the spirit. Look at that. Here's a live look at the ceremony to light the giant Christmas tree in Union Square. They pressed the button to turn it all on just moments ago. Take a look.
3, 2, 1. Happy holidays!
Oh, look at that. All right, and another sign of the season. Take a guess. The ice rink. I guess I'm supposed to wait for that shot.
We want to thank you
the ice rink is already open. So, Paul, are we getting winter weather anytime soon? I was waiting for the ice rink. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, the ice rink might be more of a slush rink today after temperatures inland topped out near 80 degrees, and it was into the mid to upper 70s in the city. Temperatures close to a dozen degrees above normal today, but we are tracking some big changes later this week. The next atmospheric river coming up in the First Alert forecast. See, we told you the ice rink is open. It's awfully warm out there for any kind of winter activity, but of course, winter in the Bay Area means the rainy season, and our next atmospheric river is going to be taking aim not just at the Bay Area, but much of the West Coast getting atmospheric river conditions as we head through the middle and end of the week. The rainiest time frame in the Bay Area is going to be Wednesday night into Thursday. We're going to zoom in and track that in more detail coming up in just a second. But first, let's talk about how mild it is out there right now. Temperatures unusually warm as we look out to the east from Salesforce Tower. The sun's been down for over an hour, but temperatures are still a mix of 60s and 70s. It's still 73 degrees in San Francisco. And get this, San Francisco is the warm spot on the map. Not the usual state of affairs, but even the coolest location, Livermore, is only down to 67 degrees. So these are closer to our average high temperatures. Even on the warm end of the spectrum, we're still above the normal high temperatures. And it's going to be another mild day tomorrow. It's not quite as warm, but perfect fall picture for a warm fall day. Temperatures reaching up into the mid-70s for Caju in San Ramon. It's going to be kind of a filtered sunshine effect overhead. So layers of mid and high level clouds are going to be filtering that sunshine, but you'll still be able to see the disk of the sun through those clouds. And those clouds aren't going to drop any rain showers on us just yet. That's in the forecast just a bit farther down the line. Not much fog to start the day tomorrow, so our temperatures are going to warm up in a pretty big hurry, making it up to about 4 to 8 degrees above normal. So today we're about 8 to 12 degrees above average. Tomorrow, more in that 4 to 8 degrees above average range. Mid to upper 70s in the Santa Clara Valley, where you will see a bit more sunshine peering through those clouds. That's why you'll be the warm spots on the map. Mostly mid 70s east of the Oakland Hills, some of the warm spots in the upper 70s there. A mix of 60s and 70s around the bay, with mostly 60s at the coast and still low to mid 70s in the North Bay, even though the clouds are going to be a little bit thicker overhead for those communities as well. And then we'll be tracking the approach of the rain once we head into Wednesday. So let's take a look at Futurecast, and we'll start the clock at 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. Showers possible during the daylight hours on Wednesday. These are going to be fairly few and far between until a late afternoon and evening, when they become a little bit more widespread, but it's not going to be a washout even Wednesday evening. 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday through 10 o'clock in the evening, that's when the rain is going to start to come in. 2 batches of heavier rain, one late Wednesday evening and another early Thursday morning. And this is when the strongest winds are going to be gusting up across the Bay Area as well. So we'll be tracking that rain as it quickly moves across the Bay Area with round 1. But then here comes round 2, just in time for the Thursday morning commute. We'll be seeing that heaviest rain move through right around the peak of rush hour, and then moving farther off to the east with lingering off and on showers throughout the rest of the day on Thursday. We're also going to be tracking some gusty winds through the course of this system. The winds becoming more noticeable already by Wednesday afternoon, but those strongest gusts will accompany that second batch of heavier rain, when the gusts are going to be widespread in the 30 to 40 mile an hour range early on Thursday morning, with some gusts, especially closer to the coast, in the 40 to 50 mile an hour range. So that's a lot that we have to focus on with that next atmospheric river headed our way. It's why we're outlining Thursday as an alert day, again, mainly for that impact on the morning commute. And then look at our temperatures, only low to mid 60s inland as we head into the weekend. So we go from warm temperatures tomorrow to cool, windy, wet weather, and then just cool weather as we head through the weekend, with another chance of lighter showers in the forecast by Sunday. Jules?
All right, Paul, thank you. When we come back, how a friendly rescue crew provided some emotional support to an injured hiker in the North Bay.
Oh, hey, open your eyes. It's beautiful. No reason to be terrified. I'm scared of heights, too. No way. That's serious.
Amazing. Enjoy the ride there. An injured hiker safe after being rescued from a cliff near Bodega Bay. The sheriff's helicopter already in the patrolling air patrolling. They were able to land on the beach and grab her. Safe landing. CBS EV News is next. See you at 7.